Have you ever wondered if being lazy could actually be good for your health, especially as you age? You might think that staying busy and active all the time is the key to a long life. But what if I told you that doctors are now discovering that certain types of laziness might be the secret to living longer? In today's video, we're diving into 8 surprising lazy habits that could help you live a longer, healthier, and more peaceful life. Stick around until the end to discover how these simple changes could add years to your life, and why pushing yourself too hard might actually be shortening it. Before we begin, I would really appreciate it if you could like this video. Your support helps me continue sharing these important health lessons with our community. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell notification so you don't miss any of our videos about healthy aging. If you like this video, please comment number 1. And if you don't like it, comment number 0 to let me know so I can make better videos for you. Now, let's get started with our first lazy habit that could extend your life. Number 1. Lazy to get angry. The wisdom of emotional management. Uncle Lee was once known for his fiery temper. In his younger years, his competitive nature drove him to excel in business, but it also fueled his impatience and frustration. Even as he grew older, his temper didn't mellow. He would snap at the slightest inconvenience or disagreement, often over trivial matters at home. One particularly stressful day, his grandson's failure to finish homework pushed Uncle Lee over the edge. His anger flared so intensely that it caused his blood pressure to rise dramatically. Within moments, he collapsed and was rushed to the hospital. The doctor's words were a wake-up call. Anger is the most damaging to your heart. If this continues, you could suffer a stroke at any time. This life-threatening incident became a turning point for Uncle Lee. He realized that his emotions had been controlling him for too long, and the consequences were dire. He made a conscious decision to change, to learn the art of emotional regulation. The next time something upset him, instead of reacting impulsively, he would take a step back. He adopted a simple but effective technique. When frustration arose, he would pause, take 3 slow, deep breaths, and allow himself time to regain composure. In addition, he found solace in music, which helped calm his nerves, and he took regular walks to clear his mind. These small but meaningful changes had a profound impact on his life. Over time, his blood pressure stabilized, and the frequent tension at home diminished. The atmosphere in his household became much more peaceful, and his family noticed the positive shift in his demeanor. A recent study conducted by Harvard Medical School reinforced the importance of Uncle Lee's transformation. The research showed that individuals who cultivate a calm, composed mindset over time have a 40% lower risk of cardiovascular diseases compared to those who are easily angered. This is because chronic anger and irritability place constant stress on the sympathetic nervous system, triggering the fight-or-flight response. This prolonged state of arousal raises blood pressure, heart rate, and stress hormones, all key contributors to heart disease and stroke. Health tip: the next time frustration arises, take a deep breath and slow down. Take 3 deep breaths before responding to any situation that makes you angry. Cultivate hobbies that bring you joy and help you relax, such as painting, writing, or gardening. By learning to manage your emotions, you'll safeguard both your physical and emotional well-being. Remember, health is far more important than winning every argument or having the last word. Number 2. Lazy to argue. A broad-minded approach to life. After Grandma Wong retired, she began to voice her frustrations more frequently, often saying, "Everyone takes advantage of me." Her daily routine became filled with irritations. She haggled aggressively with market vendors over trivial matters, grumbled if someone didn't give up their seat on the bus, and held on to grudges for even the smallest disputes with neighbors. These ongoing frustrations slowly built up over time, and before long, she was living in a constant state of anger and resentment. Her emotional turmoil affected her health. Insomnia became a regular issue, anxiety crept into her daily life, and high blood pressure started to take its toll. Even her husband, once a calming presence, found it increasingly difficult to deal with her constant temper. One day while traveling, Grandma Wong met a 90-year-old woman who seemed to embody joy in the simplest of moments. This woman had an incredible outlook on life, always responding to challenges with a calm, cheerful, an optimistic attitude, often saying it's no big deal whenever something went wrong. Watching this woman, Grandma Wong experienced a profound moment of realization. She had been taking life too seriously, weighing herself down with unnecessary stress. It was clear to her now that living in constant conflict was exhausting, and there was another way to approach life, one of acceptance and peace. Scientific research has shown that people who are constantly embroiled in arguments and stress tend to have higher cortisol levels, the stress hormone. Prolonged exposure to elevated cortisol weakens the immune system and increases the likelihood of developing serious health issues such as high blood pressure, heart disease, and anxiety. On the other hand, individuals who embrace a broad-minded, cheerful attitude, those who choose their battles wisely and don't sweat the small stuff, have been shown to have stronger immune systems, lower stress levels, and a greater chance of living longer. Health tip: next time you face an unfair situation or feel a disagreement brewing, take a moment to ask yourself, will this matter in 5 years? If not, consider letting it go. Learn to selectively ignore minor irritations and comments. Not everything deserves your attention or emotional energy. Be more forgiving, both to others and to yourself. It not only makes others happy, but will help you lead a happier, healthier life. If you're still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. Number 3, lazy to overeat, the wisdom of dietary control. After retiring, Uncle Jang found himself enjoying the carefree pleasures of life without the daily pressures of work. He indulged in rich, flavorful meals and succumbed to the temptation of late-night snacks. The joy of relaxation seemed to have no boundaries, and over 2 short years, he had gained 15 kilograms. Along with the weight came the problems. His blood sugar levels, cholesterol, and blood pressure all began to show alarming signs of imbalance. His body, once robust, now struggled to maintain normal levels, and he started feeling sluggish and unwell. During a routine checkup, the doctor gently but firmly advised him, as we age, our metabolism naturally slows down. Overeating only puts unnecessary stress on your body. It's crucial to learn the art of moderation, to be lazy about overeating. Eating less is far healthier. Taking the doctor's words to heart, Uncle Jang decided to adopt a more mindful approach to his eating habits. He started by practicing the principle of eating until he was 70% full at each meal, a practice rooted in the wisdom of the Okinawan people, known for their long life expectancy. He also began reducing his intake of oily foods and prioritized consuming more vegetables. At first, the idea of leaving food on his plate felt strange and uncomfortable, but with time, he noticed subtle changes in his body. His energy levels gradually increased, and he no longer felt bloated after meals. After just 6 months, Uncle Jang lost 8 kilograms, and his medical tests showed significant improvement. His blood sugar, cholesterol, and blood pressure all returned to normal, which was a huge relief. He realized that the simple yet profound act of eating less had restored balance to his health, proving that restraint was often the most powerful tool for longevity. The Okinawan centenarians, famous for their long and healthy lives, follow a similar practice known as the Hara Hachi-Biyu principle, eating until they are 70% full. Research has shown that reducing calorie intake by as little as 20% can significantly slow down the aging process and lower the risk of chronic diseases like diabetes, heart disease, and high blood pressure. Health tip: in your daily life, consider eating slowly and stopping once you feel 70% full. Be mindful of the foods you consume, cutting back on those high in sugar, fat, and salt, and incorporating more vegetables and lean, high-quality proteins into your meals. It's also important to keep dinners light and avoid late-night snacks, as these can strain your digestive system and affect sleep. Practicing moderation can ease the burden on your body, ultimately contributing to better health and longevity. Number 4, lazy to overexercise, moderate exercise for better health. At 60 years old, Uncle Chun, inspired by the sight of young people jogging in the park, decided to start running 10 kilometers every day, thinking it would help him stay fit and active. At first, he felt great, full of energy and motivation. However, after a year of consistently running, he began to notice a persistent pain in his knees. Initially dismissing it as a minor discomfort, the pain grew worse over time, eventually affecting his ability to walk comfortably. Seeking medical advice, Uncle Chin visited his doctor, who performed an assessment and delivered concerning news. Your joints are degenerating, and running is accelerating the damage. The repetitive high-impact stress on your knees is too much for them to handle. The doctor went on to explain that running, while excellent for cardiovascular health in younger individuals, can cause long-term damage to the joints in older adults, especially when done excessively. Uncle Chun was advised to make some significant changes to his fitness routine. The doctor suggested switching to low-impact exercises that would put less strain on his knees, such as brisk walking, swimming, or Tai Chi. After making the switch, Uncle Chun started to notice improvements in his knee health, and over time, the pain subsided, leaving him feeling much better. Research from German sports medicine specialists has reinforced the importance of exercising in moderation, particularly for older adults. Studies have shown that individuals over the age of 60 who engage in moderate exercise for about 30 minutes a day, along with light strength training 2 to 3 times a week, experience significant health benefits. These include improved cardiovascular health, enhanced muscle strength, better joint mobility, and a reduced risk of chronic conditions like heart disease and diabetes. Importantly, such moderate exercise routines have been shown to protect the joints by avoiding the excessive wear and tear caused by overexercising. However, while exercise is crucial, it is important to avoid overdoing it. Overexercising, especially with high-impact activities or extreme intensity, places excessive pressure on the joints, which can lead to injury or exacerbate existing conditions like arthritis. As we age, our joints and muscles become more vulnerable, and excessive strain can cause lasting damage. Health tip: when exercising, moderation is key for elderly individuals. Activities like brisk walking, yoga, and Tai Chi are particularly beneficial. These exercises provide a great cardiovascular workout while being gentle on the joints. Avoid prolonged high-intensity workouts that leave you feeling exhausted. Aim for light sweating and focus on movements that don't cause undue fatigue. Always remember to warm up before your exercise session and stretch afterward to ensure your muscles and joints are properly protected. Stretching helps improve flexibility and reduces the risk of strains and sprains, ensuring that your body can continue to stay active without overexertion. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. Number 5. Lazy to stay up late. The importance of regular sleep. For years, Grandma Lee had dedicated herself to caring for her family, maintaining a spotless house, and managing a busy life. After retiring, she felt that she had earned the right to unwind late at night. She'd settle into her favorite chair, watch her favorite TV shows, and scroll through her phone, thinking that digital distractions would relax her. However, the more she scrolled, the more awake and restless she became, often staying up well past midnight. What began as a few late nights gradually turned into a nightly routine, and before long, she found herself feeling more sluggish and forgetful during the day. At first, Grandma Lee chalked up her tiredness and memory lapses to age, but when her fatigue worsened, she went for a checkup. Her doctor explained the crucial connection between sleep and overall health, especially for seniors. Elderly people should sleep before 10 p.m., the doctor advised, because this helps with the normal secretion of melatonin, which not only aids in restful sleep but also helps slow the aging process and boosts immunity. Grandma Lee took the advice to heart and decided to make a change. From then on, Grandma Lee shifted her routine. She made it a point to wind down and go to bed by 10 p.m., setting an alarm to ensure she woke up by 6 a.m. At first, it felt like an adjustment, but soon she found herself feeling much more energized and alert throughout the day. The grogginess she had come to accept as part of aging began to fade, and her mental clarity improved. She noticed her memory getting sharper, and she felt more connected to her family and activities. Scientific research supports the importance of regular sleep patterns for older adults. A 20-year study conducted in Switzerland found that elderly individuals who adhere to regular sleep schedules experienced a 30% slower rate of cognitive decline compared to those with inconsistent sleep habits. This finding highlights how crucial it is to prioritize sleep if her son worked late into the night, constantly fretting over whether her grandson was studying enough or achieving good grades, and becoming anxious about her daughter-in-law's job security. These worries became an integral part of her daily routine, even though they were beyond her control. Little did she know that years of chronic stress and anxiety would begin taking a toll on her physical health. Over time, the constant mental strain manifested in insomnia, high blood pressure, and heart palpitations. One day, during a routine visit to the hospital for the discomfort she had been experiencing, the doctor looked at her charts and asked her a question that would change her perspective forever. Has all your worrying solved anything? That simple question struck her deeply. She realized that in all her worrying about the future of her loved ones, she had overlooked her own health and happiness. The weight of her burdens was far too heavy to carry. Scientific research supports the idea that chronic worry can have a profound impact on health. When we are anxious, our bodies release cortisol, a stress hormone that, at high levels, can elevate the risk of cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, and depression. Excessive worrying not only damages the body but also disrupts the mind, leaving people feeling exhausted and disconnected from the present moment. This phenomenon is particularly evident when looking at the lives of centenarians, individuals who have lived over a century. Studies show that many of these long-lived individuals rarely indulged in excessive worry. Instead, they focused on living with purpose, embracing hobbies, and nurturing meaningful connections. They practiced a mindset of acceptance and adapted to life's challenges without allowing stress to control them. Health tip: one of the most effective ways to combat chronic worry is by adjusting your mindset. Remember, your children and grandchildren have their own paths to walk, and they are equipped to handle their challenges just as you once did. You do not need to carry their burdens. Shift your focus to things that bring you joy and peace. Cultivate hobbies that inspire you, whether it's calligraphy, gardening, painting, or dancing. These activities not only provide joy, but also help to clear your mind and focus on the present. When worry arises, practice simple techniques like taking a walk, reading a good book, or listening to music. These distractions serve as reminders that life is best lived in the moment. Avoid getting stuck in anxious thoughts and instead create space for relaxation and gratitude. Letting go of unnecessary stress not only lightens your mind, but also revitalizes your body. Number 7. Lazy to compare. Contentment for better mental health. Uncle Lee and Uncle Jang, both in their late 60s, had been lifelong friends who lived in the same neighborhood, but their ways of living couldn't have been more different. Uncle Lee, a man constantly caught in the cycle of comparison, often found himself measuring his life against those around him. If a neighbor bought a new appliance, or if a colleague's grandchild was accepted into a prestigious university, Uncle Lee would immediately feel dissatisfied with the situation. This constant need to compare left him feeling anxious, and over time began to manifest physically, causing him stomach issues and an overall sense of unease. Every new event in others' lives seemed to fuel his discontent, and he struggled to focus on anything that made him happy. Uncle Jang, by contrast, lived a completely different life. He embraced simplicity, never comparing his achievements or possessions to anyone else's. His daily routine consisted of long, peaceful walks around the neighborhood, during which he would take in the beauty of nature. He enjoyed reading newspapers, often losing himself in articles that piqued his curiosity. In his mind, contentment was not about measuring up to the success of others, but about finding joy in small, everyday moments. His life seemed relaxed, and despite his old age, Uncle Jang remained healthy, mentally sharp, and at peace with himself. Scientific studies back up the contrast between the two. A prominent study conducted by Yale University found that older adults who reported higher levels of life satisfaction lived 5 to 7 years longer than those who expressed discontent. The researchers concluded that mental well-being plays a crucial role in overall longevity. In particular, Those who experience constant stress from comparing themselves to others tend to develop serious health issues such as anxiety, depression, and cardiovascular problems. The act of comparing oneself to others has been linked to higher levels of stress and a diminished sense of self-worth. The psychological toll is compounded in today's world of social media, where curated images of perfect lives are just a click away. Research shows that exposure to these seemingly flawless snapshots of other people's lives can lead to feelings of inadequacy, loneliness, and dissatisfaction. Health tip: one effective way to combat the anxiety that comes with comparison is to reduce exposure to social media platforms that exacerbate these feelings. Rather than comparing financial success or social standing, focus on personal growth and what genuinely brings you joy. Whether it's engaging in physical activities like walking, practicing yoga, or nurturing meaningful relationships. Cultivate hobbies that allow you to connect with yourself. Consider starting a daily gratitude practice. Write down at least 3 things each day that made you happy, big or small. This simple habit can transform your mindset, fostering a sense of peace and fulfillment, and helping you focus on what truly matters. In the end, as Uncle Jang shows, a life of contentment, one that does not rely on comparisons with others, is one of mental tranquility and good health. Embracing this mindset might not only improve your emotional well-being, but also extend your years. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 3 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. Number 8. Lazy to be stubborn, going with the flow to reduce mental burden. Uncle Lou was a man of great conviction, but this stubbornness often led to unnecessary conflicts. Whether it was a heated argument with his wife over something trivial, a disagreement with his neighbors about a minor issue, or even challenging a cashier over $1, Uncle Lou's life seemed to be filled with battles. His unyielding nature was always on display, and it kept him emotionally charged and tense. But this constant internal struggle took a toll on his health. Over time, his blood pressure crept higher, and he began suffering from sleepless nights that only made things worse. He became a prisoner of his rigidity. One evening, after a particularly bitter argument with his wife over something insignificant at dinner, Uncle Lou had a severe blood pressure spike that landed him in the hospital. As he lay in the hospital bed, the doctor, with a mix of concern and exasperation, asked him, "What have you gained for being so stubborn all your life? All this arguing, all this stress. You're only hurting yourself." Those words hit Uncle Lou hard. It was a wake-up call. From that moment on, he made a conscious decision to change. He decided to stop fighting over everything, to let go of the need to be right, and to embrace a more relaxed, go-with-the-flow attitude. Instead of snapping at every frustration, he chose to laugh off the minor irritations that once would have sent him into a tirade. It wasn't about abandoning his principles, but learning to prioritize peace over being right. Slowly, over time, Uncle Lou found that his blood pressure dropped, his insomnia improved, and his overall health took a turn for the better. This transformation wasn't just about changing his mindset. It was about realizing how much stress had been self-inflicted by his constant rigidity. Research from Sweden's Karolinska Institute supports this shift in perspective. Their studies show that being overly stubborn and rigid keeps the brain in a state of constant tension, elevating cortisol levels, the body's stress hormone, which disrupts sleep and accelerates cognitive decline. In contrast, elderly individuals who adopt a more relaxed, go-with-the-flow approach to life tend to experience slower memory decline and better sleep quality. This evidence shows that flexibility and a lighter attitude aren't just good for the soul, they're crucial for the brain and body. Health tip: lighten up, smile more, and avoid arguing over every little thing. Not everything is worth a battle. Remember, harmony is more valuable than winning, and good health is the ultimate wealth. Let go of the small frustrations, especially with loved ones, family, friends, and neighbors. A forgiving and open-minded approach creates a more peaceful life, both physically and emotionally. Embrace the serenity that comes with letting go. So, what have you learned today? Out of the 8 types of laziness we covered, which one resonated with you the most? Is there something you plan to practice in your daily life to improve your health and well-being? We'd love to hear from you. So leave a comment below and share the one takeaway you'll be putting into action. If you like this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. By subscribing, you'll never miss our latest content that helps you grow, stay happy, and age gracefully. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.